bumped into
There we
it
go.
a couple times down there.
No, you can't see it from that. It's a city pin.
Watch my phone. Turn up my watch. 15 minutes left.
Did you figure anything out? I mean, weather, this all looked the same, so.
Yeah, no, I've been working, but couldn't get it returned, trying to get started on it. We will call the October 1st, 2024 City of Winter Haven Planning Commission to order. Jordan, can you please take roll?
Kevin Tyson.
Here.
Mario Manigo.
Here.
Bob Lanford. Lorena Cordero. Wendy Venters.
Here.
Colin Wells.
Here.
Ed Smith.
Here.
Tina Summerlin. And Craig Fuller.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right. If you would, please stand for the invocation and pledge. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and this opportunity to serve the city of Winter Haven. We ask that you be with us and guide us. We ask these things in your heavenly name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Have commissioners had an opportunity to review the minutes of the previous meeting? If so, we'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve minutes from our prior meeting.
Second.
All right, we have a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, minutes are approved. All right, I'll move into a brief explanation of the hearing. Cases will be read into the record. City staff will provide a presentation, and commissioners will have an opportunity to ask questions of staff. Once commissioners have had an opportunity to ask their questions, we will close the planning portion of the hearing and open the public portion of the hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against a case, starting with the applicant, may do so, and we ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes. Once everybody has had an opportunity to speak, we will close the public portion of the hearing and reopen the planning portion of the hearing. And we can ask additional questions or entertain a motion and a vote. If anybody here thinks they may speak for or against a case, if you would, please stand, and we'll ask Jordan to swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case shall be the truth?
All right, thank you, Jordan. All right, moving on to new business. Case number P-24-49 and P-24-50, request by ABC Properties LTD to assign primary mixed-use hub future land use to an annexed parcel and to assign commercial highway C3 zoning district to the same annexed parcel. General location, 250 Cypress Gardens Boulevard. The area covered by these requests is .89 plus or minus acres.
All right, Heather Reuter, Senior Planner for the record. Before you on the screen is the future land use map. The subject property there is in the black hatched rectangle. All the surrounding city designations are primary mixed-use hub, and any of that in white is in unincorporated Polk County. As you look at the zoning, it is C3 predominantly in this area. There's a plan unit development from the 80s across the street for the Walmart shopping center and over to the west for the development of the Chick-fil-A and
C3, no.
is it C? Oh, I stand corrected. These maps were made prior to our just rezoning, and those are all C3. So we do have all C3 in this area. This is the aerial. As you can see, this is the ABC liquor store on Cypress Gardens Boulevard, as you're looking there. This is a view of the subject property across Cypress Gardens Boulevard. This is as you look to the west, to the north, and to the east. And then this is to the south, there is some multifamily residential in the county. ABC Properties LTD is the petitioner and requests the city assign primary mixed-use hub future land use and commercial highway C3 zoning district to an annexed parcel. The property subject to this request, totaling .89 acres, is located at 250 Cypress Gardens Boulevard and contains a 9,088 square foot ABC Fine Wine and Spirits retail store that was built in 1975. The parcel was annexed into the city April 22nd, 2024. The petitioner does not plan to make any alterations to the existing store. As these requests contain a small-scale future land use amendment, review by the Florida Department of Commerce and other state and local agencies is not required. In conclusion, staff's review yields the following. The assignment of primary mixed-use hub future land use in C3 zoning district is consistent with the developed use and surrounding city designations, and as the property is already developed, no additional demands on public infrastructure are expected at this time. Therefore, staff does recommend that the Planning Commission recommend approval of these case, and they're forwarding to the City Commission for final action. I stand for any questions that you may have.
Any questions? No? All right, we will close the planning portion of the hearing and open the public portion of the hearing. Anyone from the public wishing to speak for or against this case? If you would, please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Allison Williams, KPM Franklin, 6300 Hazeltine National Drive, Suite 118, Orlando, Florida, 32822. Just here to say thank you to staff and here to answer any questions that you may have.
I appreciate it. Anyone else? No? All right, we will close the public portion of the hearing and reopen the planning portion of the hearing. Any additional questions or a motion?
I'll make a motion in favor of cases number P-24-49 and P-24-50, a request by ABC Properties LTD to assign primary mixed-use hub future land use and to assign commercial highways C3 zoning district to the annexed parcel generally located at 250 Cypress Gardens Boulevard. Area covered by this request is .89 more or less acres as presented in the fact sheet and by staff.
Second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, case is approved. Moving on, case number P-24-51 and P-24-52, request by Cypress Southeast LLC to assign neighborhood support future land use to an annexed parcel and to assign commercial highway C3 zoning district to the same annexed parcel. General location, a parcel generally located north of Highway 540 West, east of King Road, and south of Cross Tower Drive. The area covered by these requests is 1.19 plus or minus acres.
All right. The subject property here on the map before you is in the hatched area. It was recently annexed. The property in the city to the north across Cross Tower is neighborhood suburban. As you head east to some major intersections there along Wrecker Highway, we do have some neighborhood mixed-use hub. As you look at the zoning, there's a mixture of R2 and R3 to the north. And again, there's some C3 as you head to the east along Wrecker Highway. And then this is the aerial, as the property is located there at the intersection with 540 King Road and Cross Tower Drive. This is a view of the subject property as you look back from it on 540. This is a view to the south, standing from the frontage of 540 and King Road. This is looking to the west along 540 from that frontage. This is on the Cross Tower Drive, looking as you look over there, part of the property, and as you look to the west. This is to the north across Cross Tower. This is single-family subdivision that is under development. And then this is as you look to the east down Cross Tower. Again, Cypress Southeast LLC is the petitioner, and they request the city assign neighborhood support future land use and commercial highway C3 zoning district to an annexed parcel. The vacant parcel is generally located north of Highway 440 West, east of King Road, and south of Cross Tower Drive. The parcel was annexed into the city May 13th, 2024. The petitioner intends to develop the property with a multi-unit commercial building for small businesses. Again, these requests contain a small-scale future land use amendment, so review by Florida Commerce and other state and local agency is not required. Staff's review yields the following conclusions. The assignment of I might have printed the wrong one out. Sorry. The assignment of neighborhood support future land use and C3 zoning district is consistent with the property's frontage on an arterial highway and at the intersection with the collector roadway, and there is sufficient public infrastructure capacity to accommodate the maximum theoretical development under C3. Staff does recommend the Planning Commission recommend approval of these requests and their forwarding to the City Commission for final action. I stand for any questions that you may have.
Any questions? No? All right, we will close the planning portion of the hearing and open the public portion of the hearing. Anyone from the public wishing to speak? Yep. If you would, please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Pedro Gomez. I own the property next to the development, and also
Can you state your address?
it's 853 Cross Tower Drive, Winter Haven, Florida, 33880. And I basically came over here, first of all, I wanted to be present in one of these hearings because I've never been there, and I feel proud of doing that. One of the things I'm more interested on this is because I have the house next to that turn that they're going to make, and I was wondering about the couple things, and if you could just kind of, one is safety, because at this point, the woody area not only protect me from any car goes off the road and in case drastically, accident or something. And the other one is about the nature, because there are some still wild animals in there, and including an eagle nest. I'm just concerned about that, and and if there is going to be any sound barrier on that, or for safety issues. That's what I'd like to know. I mean, the development's great. They're going to build over 50 houses in front of me, and we actually need the change, but I'm just concerned about those little things.
Understood? Okay.
Okay.
You want to?
Yeah, I can provide a little bit of background on that. So when the property is developed, it'll have to go through site plan, and through site plan, there'll be environmental and different things that will make sure that there aren't any protected species on the site and make sure that they're following all the parameters with that as far as that goes. As far as buffering, because it is a commercial and it will abut to residential, there will be a buffering requirement through landscaping. It will include a fence and also a 10-foot buffer of landscape along there adjacent to that. There'll also be buffering along the roadways. As far as where the access point on the property will be, that is 540 is a state road and the other two roads are county roads. So they will dictate where their access point will be allowed to be and where they'll be able to turn in and out. So until they get into the permitting with those agencies, we wouldn't know where their access would be.
Okay, basically, I just want to know because, if they leave a little trees in there, would be nice, instead of just wiping the whole thing out, like you see on the block across that all that stuff is gone.
More versed.
Yeah, I will the city just adopted a new tree ordinance literally a week ago. And they'll be required to do a tree survey on this lot prior to development, part of which they'll have to identify trees over a certain size, and they're either going to be required to preserve or save the tree. If they cannot, then they can either replace or they'll have to pay a mitigation fee. So until they actually start development, I'm not sure how they will. Obviously, some trees will go away because it's completely wooded. But there's now a mechanism in place to try to preserve more trees on this parcel.
Sounds good. That's basically my concerns.
Okay.
And appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else?
Okay, my name is Philip Keith. I live at 120 Lake Sears Drive, and I own the property at 729 Cross Tower Drive. Adjacent to him, actually, I'm a couple properties over. Where the tower actually is, I have just under 7 acres or just over 7 acres. I'm trying to figure out what is that zoning now? it was residential forever. So is it changed now to commercial? Is Cross Tower now commercial zoning?
So this was annexed into the city, so your property and
Okay,
the
so
other.
now we are city.
No.
No.
This property,
Just
the
this part.
the subject property was annexed into the city. The remaining property is there, as you look here, this is a good visual to see it. All of that's in white, that doesn't have any color,
Yep,
that's all still in the county. Anything that has
Okay.
color has a city zoning designation on it, it's in the city limits. So this was annexed in. So when we annex the property in, we have to assign city designations onto it, including land use and zoning.
so that area is commercial now.
That's what this request is for. So the planning commission will provide a recommendation, and then it'll go to the city commission for final action. If they adopt the ordinance, and that parcel would have these designations on it. But it does not affect your property as far as what you're
Well, there
allowed
is
to
a
do.
little drainage issue now. So since they've started across the street, like he mentioned, so I've noticed that there is a lot more standing water on my property than ever before. These recent rains, well, not recently, a month or two back. So I'm wondering about drainage for that. If they keep building that up, I'm sure they address that.
Yeah, so through any site development, I mean, they have to get a SWIFMUD permit, and they have to do stormwater, on the property, and they cannot allow any additional water to escape the property than originally did. So I'm not sure of what is occurring in those areas. Again, those aren't city roadways either to know what the drainage is in that area.
Okay.
But this site, when developed, they'll have to go through stormwater permitting and providing them, because they are on that state road, they will have to do even extra stormwater permitting, because DOT will require them to do so. So there shouldn't be anything that would come from the site once developed.
That's it. Thanks.
All right, thank you for your comments. Anyone else from the public? No? All right, we will close the public portion of the meeting and reopen the planning portion of the hearing. Any additional questions from commissioners? We'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve case numbers P-24-551 and P-24-52. Request by Cypress Southeast LLC to assign neighborhood support future land use and to annex parcel and to assign commercial highway C3 zoning district to the same annex parcel. General location, a parcel generally located north of Highway 540 West, east of King Road, and south of Cross Tower Drive. The area covered by these requests is 1.19 plus or minus acres.
Second.
All right, we have a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, case is approved. Moving on to other business, comments from staff.
I am going to touch on a lot of the stuff that we've been working on over the last 2 or 3 months. A lot of that is starting to come to final approvals. We kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier, but yes, we did the zoning map changes that we did throughout the city. Those were adopted by the city commission this past Monday night. So those are now in effect, and essentially, when you look at the zoning map now compared to what it looked like, looks a lot different. It's a lot more colorful. So we've gotten into a lot more straight zoning and eliminated a lot of these old PUDs that just kind of lingered, probably several of them longer than they should have. Other items from September, the conditional use for the helicopter on Dundee Road, that's going to the city commission in a couple weeks on the 14th. And then the Avenue East Southwest future land use and zoning and the Advent Health PUD, that's also moving forward in October. The next items up is the changes we did to the water and sewer level of service standards. Those will be back for an adoption later in October, as well as the future land use and zoning for the large track up on Ware Avenue Northeast. And then finally, the landscape changes I also just alluded to, those were also approved this past Monday night. So we're gonna try to start preserving some more trees on these lots, but also provide a way forward for when trees can't be saved. So we're hoping to achieve a balance of preserving and allowing a mitigation option, so. The last thing I want to touch on is your November meeting date. It is Election Day. There's no requirement to move the date off of that, your meeting off of that date. It's the only time your bylaws state that the meeting changes if it's a city election. This one is not. So you're free to leave it on the, I forget what the date, the November 5th. Or if you so choose, you could move it to the Monday, the 4th. But again, there's no real requirement. I just wanted to kind of bring that to your attention tonight, because if you do choose to make a change, that would have to be, that action had to take place tonight.
Anybody require a change? I'm good.
I'm good. Okay, we'll keep it on the 5th. There's only one item. It should be a relatively, I'm not going to say short meeting, but it won't be a long agenda.
Okay.
And that's it for me.
All right. Comments from planning commissioners. Anybody have anything? No? Comments from the public? All right. We are adjourned.